I have a scoop on the Spider-Man ride closure. Hey, what's going on everybody? Rick here. What do you say we hang out at Islands of Adventure today? We are in the last week of pass holder appreciation days. Looks like we have a little pre-hurricane weather today, as a tropical storm or hurricane will be skirting by the state. All of the theme parks, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, they have not made any changes to their operational schedules because of that hurricane just yet. Okay, let's head to Marvel Superhero Island and talk about this Spider-Man closure again. In the last update video, I told you Spider-Man will be closed temporarily from October 21st through November 6th. And I think I might have a scoop as to why. So for those of you who do not know, the ride vehicle on the Spider-Man ride is called a scoop. So I'm playing off that word. So here's the deal with the closure here at Universal Orlando. It's just temporary. However, the Spider-Man ride in Universal Japan closed permanently earlier this year. So kind of the scuttlebutt on the street right now is that the scoop vehicles from Japan are going to be installed here in Orlando, and that's the reason for the Orlando closures for the updated scoops. Again, that is not fact, that is hearsay, but very believable hearsay. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of updates for islands today, so I might have to fill this video up with off-the-cuff tips. Such as, when you see that the comic strip cafe is closed, like with this sign here, often the doors are open, leading to, hold on, air conditioning. So this makes for a good place to grab a seat, enjoy some air conditioning, plus the Coke Freestyle machines are here, and they keep little water cups by those. So grab some free water, have a sit down, and cool off. Even though the actual restaurant is closed. Popeyes and Bluto's barges will get you soaking wet. A poncho will help protect your body, but not your feet. What you may want to do is carry around some sandals or some flip-flops with you if you know you're going to go on this ride. Change into the flip-flops before you get on the ride. That way, just your feet and flip-flops get wet. When you get off the ride, then you can put on your dry shoes. You don't want to walk around the park for the rest of the day in wet shoes. There's a little retail kiosk outside of the ride that sells flip-flops and water shoes. I can see someone just bought a pair for the ride. Universal is having a problem with these trees running away again. Had to put them behind fences to keep them from running. That advice I just gave you about ponchos and flip-flops at Popeyes and Bluto's barges, it also applies to Ripsaw Falls too. This last drop you see here is not the only spot on the ride that will get you wet. Well, apparently Universal's not going to tell you this because there's no sign saying do not climb. But I'm going to tell you, don't let your kids climb the Skull Island signage. As we enter Jurassic Park, I'm happy to see that the guests that were inside the Ford Explorer have escaped the jaws of the T-Rex, and apparently they've learned their lesson. They're not coming back. That's my long-winded way of telling you the vehicle has not returned to that photo op. Over here at the Jurassic Park River Adventure, looks like Universal has fixed the drainage problem they had over here at the Splash Zone because it has reopened. I'm not sure if some of these people realize they're kind of standing in the Splash Zone, but I have a feeling they'll find out. Well, more like a misting zone where they are. This ride won't get you too wet, but if you want to kind of get less wet, I would recommend maybe trying to get into rows 3 or 4 in the middle. You can do the poncho thing again. The thing with the ponchos though, it kind of makes for an uncomfortable ride. Of course, they're not breathable. You're in the hot Florida sun. I'd rather just get wet than wear a poncho. How about we do this? if you're in favor of wearing ponchos, type Y for yes in the comment section. If you are not in favor of wearing ponchos, type no in the comment section. The Pteranodon Flyers are still closed. I highly doubt this is going to reopen before the end of the year. Must be a 2025 reopening of this, if ever. The Velocicoaster. I'll give you some advice or tips on this roller coaster in a moment. The fastest roller coaster in the park. Some of the coolest roller coaster features you'll go on. But where do you want to sit on this ride? Personally, I like the front row for the view, especially going over the top hat. But I know a guy who's been on this ride over 1,000 times, and he'll swear by row 11. Now there are 12 rows, but he will tell you row 11 is the best. The back rows of any roller coaster gonna whip you around a little bit more than the front rows. Row 11 though, there's a gap, a good gap between row 11 and row 10. So your view is not as obstructed as it would be if you were in row 12. Last time we checked on Burger Digs, they took away the water that you could walk up and get. Let's see if that's the case today. Well, the cups are here, but the water, the ice water is gone. What's the deal? Even though summer break is over, it's still hot here. It's gonna be almost 90 degrees today and no water at the Burger Digs. That makes no sense to me. It's just as hot as the summer break, and quite honestly, I think it's more crowded now than summer break. What happened here? Looks like Universal's snuck in some work on us. Worked on the ground there. The old floor, the new floor, refurbished, unfurbished. I have another piece of advice or a tip for you with the Velocicoaster. Like a lot of attractions here at Universal, it has a single rider line. It has been my experience that the single rider line for the Velocicoaster isn't much help as a shortcut. Using these single rider lines at Universal can sometimes be a time saver, but not with the Velocicoaster. My second least favorite ride for using the single rider line is Hagrid's. It might work a little better than Velocicoaster, but it's very hit or miss as to whether it's a time saver for you. Almost every ride at Universal is going to warn you about motion sickness. At the Forbidden Journey, they really mean it. This ride is my #1 ride to make you sick. I did a whole video on rides to make you sick. To see the other rides on that list, check the info card on your screen or the description box for links. About halfway through this ride, the Forbidden Journey, I just have to concentrate on not throwing up. And for that reason, I don't know if I will ever go on it again. And unfortunately, I think there's going to be a ride at Epic Universe that utilizes the same ride mechanism. As we head into the Lost Continent, you can tell not a lot of updates today, but if you're enjoying the tips and the advice, please take a moment and give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Oh my goodness, I walked right by an update. A new sign for the henna tattoos and the psychic readings. If you want some good shots or videos or pictures of the Velocicoaster, walk behind Mythos. Just walk this way and it will lead you to an area we can get good video of the Mosasaurus roll there. And also the top hat. And here comes a better shot of the Mosasaurus roll. Zoomed in a little bit. Another good spot for the Mosasaurus roll and the top hat would be behind Popeyes and Bluto's barges and Me Ship the Olive play area. Seuss Landing should be pretty quiet today. Here at Moose Juice, Goose Juice, I like the jumbo chocolate chip cookie they sell here. Today all the rides are 5-minute waits, except the High in the Sky trolley, which is a 10-minute wait. Oh my goodness, I timed that perfectly. As I finished my lap around, it just started to rain now, and in a moment the screen is going to go black and you're going to see a box on that black screen. What you need to do is click that box.